If it's your first time clicking on my channel, welcome. My name is Trisha, and I am long overdue for a Stitch With Me video. Today is Thursday, June 7th, 2018, and I am going to be working on this newest release from Stephanie at Lindy Stitches. This is called Birds to the Bough. I love it. The evening that I saw her Flosstube video where she talked about the release of this pattern, I bought it immediately, along with a few others. This is my favorite piece of hers by far. I'm extremely excited to be supporting her and stitching this. There's also a Facebook group, Stitch Along, happening that is being hosted by Michelle Bendy Stitchy and the Imperfectly Perfect Stitcher, maybe? I'll link their channels below. I started before I knew about the Facebook group and the start date, but that wouldn't have stopped me because I started this, I think, the day after I purchased it. So I'm going to be working on this top border right here because my pattern is actually on my iPad and I am filming on my iPad. So I've kind of memorized it. It goes for days. We should be good. I'm stitching it in all of the DMC colors that are called for, and I am stitching it on this, you can't see the tag, but it is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's this light pink 28 count linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. Ayin, I think it's called. So that's what I'm using. I'm gonna get started. I hope everybody is doing well. We're nearing the end of the school year for some of you. We have one more week. Next week is our last day. So kids are in school. I have some work stuff to do today, but I wanted to do this first. And then really, I have started watching Game of Thrones. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my Instagram story. I started last weekend. I just moments ago, finished season 2. I am very enamored with this show. I don't know what took, well, I know what took me so long. So it's on HBO. I don't have cable, and when I had cable, I did not subscribe to HBO. It's just expensive and crazy. So when I finally, got a piece of fuzz going on here. When I finally decided that I wanted to watch this, I found the HBO Now app, which is, I have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. The HBO Now app, which might be available several places. I got mine through Amazon and loaded it to our Fire Stick. So I have been watching on the TV. The first month is free, so if you're interested, you can go see that on Amazon. I don't know that I'll get through all 7 seasons before my free month trial is up. It's 15 bucks monthly after that. I'm very behind in the HBO shows, so I don't know what else I'm missing. I know Danielle has talked about Westworld. Is that what it's called? Westworld? That looks interesting. So I don't know, maybe I'll look into that after. Hard to tell, but right now I am thoroughly really enjoying Game of Thrones. There are a lot of people, a lot of names, a lot of places that they're going, and it's really hard to keep track of all of the people. I am definitely finding that that's the case. And yeah, so good. No spoilers here though, don't worry. So other than that, I'm not doing this right. Other than that, it's just been, you know, regular house stuff. So before I get started on my work for the day, because I actually have a lot of it, I thought I would do Emily C's tag and take some time to stitch, because I haven't been stitching a lot because it's really hard to stitch and watch that show. So Emily C just put out a tag, I think last weekend, and it's 20 questions, and I am going to answer those questions now. So question number 1, what is your favorite cereal? I haven't met many cereals I don't like. Cereal is probably that one snack food that can derail good eating for me. I am a total carbaholic, so cereal is my downfall. I am currently enjoying shredded wheat. I like the frosted mini wheats. I really like those with some really cold milk. It is my favorite. I also enjoy Raisin Bran a lot, if you can believe that. Like I said, there's not a cereal that I don't like. As far as sweet cereals go, you know, cereal that's like candy and not healthy for you at all, and I don't know why they even advertise it as a breakfast food, because it's the worst thing ever. I really like Cocoa Puffs. I dig it. And the Reese's Puffs that are peanut butter and chocolate, those are amazing. But really, I like all cereal. It's totally bad, but I do. Oh, my back is starting to hurt. I'm gonna have to switch positions here. Second question, what are your favorite pizza toppings? Hold on here as I resituate. Whoop. Pizza toppings, I am not a huge meat lover. When this, here, I need to clip up my extra fabric because it's driving me nutty. Don't judge. Here as I clip my fabric so that my arm doesn't keep touching it. I like ham and pineapple. Ham and pineapple are probably my favorite typical toppings for a pizza. Oh my goodness. I don't like bacon on pizza, so I know some people, when they have Hawaiian pizza, put bacon on it. It's not my favorite. I don't turn it away or anything. And I don't like olives. I will eat them if I have to, but nobody's trying to shove olives down my throat, so I guess I'm not going to worry about that. But ham and pineapple is probably my regular pizza of choice. If we're talking like specialty pizzas, Cottage Inn, I don't know if Cottage Inn is other places, but it's definitely here. They have a mean barbecue chicken pizza that I love. Kitty, you can't get up here right now. I'm sorry. Beat it. It's got sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce on it, grilled chicken, bacon, which, you know, I just said I don't like, but I like it on that, and onion. That might be it. It's so good. So that's probably my favorite, like, specialty pizza. This absolutely makes me want to get some pizza now. I've never made my own. Maybe I should try. I've got Sweet Baby Ray's all the time because that's my favorite barbecue sauce. Kitty, you can't get up here. No. I'm very sorry. There's no room. Don't lick me. Oh, Kitty. Stop. No, honey. Okay. Question 3. You're on death row. What is your last meal? Lasagna made with Italian sausage, not ground beef, using a mix of ricotta and cottage cheese for the sauce, for the cheese in it, and tomato sauce. I love lasagna. I love my lasagna. Maybe I could make it myself. And with that, probably just a nice regular salad. Some breadsticks would be delicious. And for dessert, a chocolate mayonnaise cake with German chocolate frosting. Chocolate mayonnaise cake because it is the moistest chocolate cake I've ever had in my entire life. And the German chocolate frosting because I love German chocolate. I love German chocolate cake. I haven't had one in a while. My mom used to bake one for me for my birthday. She hasn't done that in a few years. I suppose I could just bake one myself. This is not right. Oh, I'm forgetting these bottom ones. I'll go back to those. I'm almost out of thread. So yeah, death row last meal. That sounds delicious. I need to end this thread. Oh no. There we go. Let's see. Ooh. Everything's a little cramped here with the camera. See, number 4, it's laundry day. What are your really weird bottom of the drawer underwear? Well, probably underwear that don't fit. And this is probably because I just recently went through my drawers, including my underwear drawer, and got rid of a lot of things. I had underwear in there that I had not worn for years and years and years. And this is why. It's about to get personal, y'all. Before I started dating my husband, I used to buy a lot of like fancy undergarments, you know, lace and matching stuff and, you know, stuff that was pretty. And I had a huge box full of silky nightgowns and, you know, things that, I mean, you wouldn't wear them like, I don't know, meet the mailman or anything at the door, but it wasn't necessarily like lingerie or anything, but nice long nightgowns, some like nighty nightgowns, just pretty sleepwear and pretty under things, because there were people, it makes me sound a little hoary, doesn't it? Because that mattered to people in my life. How about that? And my husband is not into those things. And I used to really like those. Like, I would wear long nightgowns myself to bed. My mom always had really actually long nightgowns and pretty nightgowns, and she wore those. I mean, she was single for like ever. She wore them for herself, and I always liked them. So I remember my mom going nightgown shopping with me when I got older. So I had all of these things, and I'm a little older now, and my husband is not into that. I mean, he doesn't dislike it, but it's not for him. He's like, yeah, that's nice. It looks better on the floor, you know? So I had a lot of undergarments like that, and I got rid of them all. Those would have been the things at the bottom of the drawer because I never wore them. But since I threw away a lot of money, now it's just like something, you know, things that don't fit. Nothing crazy. It's kind of boring, isn't it? What are you gonna do? Let's see, number 5. Who would play you in a movie about your life? I don't know that my life is interesting enough to be on the big screen. I'm not even sure. I don't think that there's a person that like I look like. When I was in high school, I had several friends who said that I looked like the little sister on Family Ties, the blonde girl. I don't know her name. I don't think she's doing anything these days. Maybe she would be willing to play me. Tina Yothers. Is that her name? Tina Yothers? That's what they said I look like. I don't know. Maybe. Seems kind of crazy, doesn't it? So I have no idea. I'm going to have to take a pass on that one. But if any of you have an idea, let me know. All right, let's see. Number 6. What food items do you sneak into the movie theater in your purse or man bag? When I was younger, when I went to the movies, I would generally go with my cousin, and my aunt would take us, her mom. And we would always stop at the grocery store. There was a knot, but there's not. We would always stop at the grocery store, and I would get a bag of Hershey Kisses, plain chocolate, and Jenny, my cousin, would get a bag of peanut butter cups. And so anytime I go to the movies, that's usually my thing, is I want a bag of Hershey Kisses, which is pretty funny. Usually though, if we go, we're gonna eat popcorn because movie popcorn is the best popcorn in the world. And fun fact, my ex-husband was a movie theater manager. I feel like I've mentioned this before. He's not anymore. He got a new job a couple years ago, or a year ago, which was very disappointing because that was my free movie pass right there. We would just, if we could find a theater, the company that he worked for, no matter where it was, he would call us in and we would get in for free. We did that when we went to Florida, my husband and I, on our honeymoon trip. We went to a movie theater that was downtown Disney, and it had just opened. It was either just opening or they were just remodeling it to do the whole restaurant and bar inside. And he called us into that one. And that was when that was like a fairly new thing in downtown Orlando. So that was really nice. I don't have that connection anymore. I need to find somebody that works in a movie theater. Keep trying to convince AJ to get a job at a movie theater so that we can get free passes, but he just hasn't done it yet. Jerk. Number 7. What is your perfect vacation? That would be a cabin on a lake. Nobody really around, and literally just doing nothing. Not necessarily in the middle of nowhere, because we're gonna want a good internet connection. My husband would probably want to bring his computer so he could game. So that would keep him busy, and I could stitch and watch the sunrise with a cup of coffee, watch the sunset with a glass of wine, stitch all day, or sew or read or anything that required, like, no, not required, anything that gave me basically no noise and no people other than maybe my husband. I have 3 boys and it is rarely quiet in my house. I realize other people have more children and it's probably even less quiet at their house, but I miss silence so much. And when everybody's home, it is loud here and I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I miss silence. And I hear a lot of people say, you're gonna miss that. You're gonna miss that when your kids are gone. You're gonna miss all that chaos. I don't think so. I will not miss it. I just won't. I know I won't. So a lake. There definitely has to be a lake involved. Number 8, you're stuck on a deserted island and can have 5 things. What do you have? Jeez, I haven't thought about this. My husband, because I'd probably just die without having somebody do the hard stuff. My husband, food. I have to have food. Internet. I don't need internet. I don't need that. I take that back. So my husband, food, all of my stitching, clothes. That's 4. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe internet. Of course, then I would need things to hook up to the internet, so maybe not internet. So my husband, my stitching, food, shelter. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How do you choose? And is it deserted because it's inhabitable, or is it just deserted because nobody lives there? Like, do I have modern conveniences like a toilet? Because that would be a nice thing to have, though not necessary, but preferred. My husband and my stitching. I'm assuming everything else is fine and my kids are safe and it's just for a vacation. Do I have to live there? Emily, this is a bad question. Did I get deserted there, or did I just happen upon the deserted island? You're stuck there. How long am I stuck there for? Bug spray. Bug spray. I've watched Survivor enough to know that those bugs get everywhere. Yep, bug spray is my 5th thing. So, my husband, my stitching. Oh, my nose itches. Maybe Claritin would be a good thing to take. My husband, I have to count these out. Husband, stitching, food, bug spray, and some type of shelter, assuming there's not one there. I suppose my husband can build something. That's why I'm taking him. Because he's a builder. He's not a builder in real life, but he can build. He just built me a front porch. Just finished it off this weekend. I'm very excited. So yeah, those are my 5 things. I thought about sunscreen because I am pretty fair-skinned, but maybe I'll just hang out in the shade with my stitching. How about that? That sounds like a vacation. Oh, number 9, if you could have a reproduction style chart with any theme possible, what would the theme be? Oh, geez. I wouldn't even know. Because so many of the reproduction samplers they aren't really themed. They just have this smattering of a bunch of stuff. And I don't even know everything that's out there. Like, they all have trees and flowers and birds and viney borders. What else is there? I have no idea. I should have probably thought of some of this beforehand. Reproduction sampler. I got nothing. Look at this. I've lost my way. I have to figure out where I'm going here because I need to fill these in. So yeah, I have no idea. I don't know enough about reproduction samplers. I'll be interested in hearing what other people say. And I don't even remember what Emily said because I watched her video last week, so I can't even copycat her. Dang it. Why did I not study ahead? All right, I gotta think here. Too far off. Try to conserve floss because I'm stingy like that, even though it's DMC and I don't really have to be stingy. I still try. Just never look at the backs of my work because they're all crazy. Okay, now we're back on track, kind of. What is your strangest travel experience? Bonus points if you've ever spent time in a foreign jail. I've not spent time in a foreign jail, nor have I ever been to a foreign jail. And I don't do a lot of travel, but that trip that Leaf and I took to Florida when we got married, the spring after we got married, we were going through TSA and the scanners, and he was carrying on his laptop bags. He brought his laptop. And, you know, I was carrying through knitting. At the time, I was knitting a lot. And I got through, we went through, and he got pulled. And we were like running a little behind, and they pulled him out of line and called in more officers, and I was like, what is going on? And my husband said they found a bullet in my bag. Yep. So they found in his laptop bag with his laptop a live round. I believe it was a rifle bullet. That would be the only thing that makes sense. I don't remember at this point, but that would make sense because my husband hunts, and even though it was well after hunting season, and he mostly bow hunts, he doesn't rifle hunt often. When he packs like a damn hobo. He just throws stuff in the back of the car, into the back seat, not necessarily in a bag or a box or anything, and goes. And so it is not uncommon, especially when he's hunting and he's hunting with his friends, for him to throw a box of ammunition into his back seat and go. And when he travels with his laptop, or when he used to, he doesn't have that laptop anymore, but when he used to, the laptop would always sit in the back seat behind his seat. No, kitty, no. My cat's trying to jump from the couch on me. There's no place for her to be right now. He would throw his laptop bag behind the driver's seat, and then anything else would go on the back seat, and he'd call it a day. So probably what happened is his laptop bag was open and he threw a box of shells, you know, in the back seat, and it probably tipped over and one stray round fell into his laptop bag. Probably fell to the bottom, didn't even think about it. Oh my God, it was such a ruckus. It was crazy. So, you know, they pulled him aside, they searched all of his luggage. They, you know, tested his hands for gunpowder or whatever, and we're like, seriously, no. And when all was said and done, you know, everybody had a good laugh. Like they weren't mad or anything. If you met my husband, you would know that he's not necessarily one that you would look at as you're gonna shoot up our plane with a hunting rifle. And then they said, Kitty, oh my God. They said, we're going to keep this round if you don't mind. And Leaf is like, yeah, you can have that. No big deal. So they kept it and let us go on our way. And we made our flight and everything was fine. But it's just not very often something like that happens, right? My God, really? So we do make the joke. Ouch. Now, Kitty, this is not good. We do make the joke now that when we travel, it's like, check your bags for live ammunition because, you know, we don't have time to visit with the TSA people for extended periods of time. There you go. I'm getting to the end of this strand and the edge of my stitching. What am I going to do? Number 11, what are you saving money for right now? Nothing. We are not currently saving money for anything at this point. Just paying our stuff, doing our thing. I would like to, we need new gutters. We've needed new gutters and downspouts and stuff for the house for like the past forever, probably since we moved in. So I do need to start saving for that. And we do have a vacation coming up this summer that we should probably be saving for as well. There should be always something that we're saving for, right? We just aren't actively saving for anything right now, which is probably not smart. Okay, time to end this thread. Don't look at my back. Don't do it. No back judging. You can look, I don't care. What craft would you like to try to get better at, or try or get better at? I always want to get better with my sewing. I would really like to get better with my long arming. I haven't done anything with it, and not just my long arming, but the computer. I have a computer attached to my long arm that has patterns in it that you can use, and I know there's also a way to like download patterns. You can buy them online and load them into the computer. My friend next door has a long arm as well, I think I've mentioned, and she is really good. Like this is her craft, is sewing, and she's doing amazing. She knows her machine backwards and forwards. I have an older machine and it's a little clunky when it comes to doing stuff, and I really haven't taken the time to learn it, and I really need to. So I need to get better with my long arming with the computer, and I would also like to start learning some ruler work because that makes quilts very unique, because nobody necessarily does it like you. So I would like to work on that. It's just finding the time of what I need to do and what I want to do, and I would rather be stitching. I mean, that's all there is to it. So I really need to work on that though. So there's that. Other than that, I'd love to also work on my knitting skills. I haven't done a lot of knitting. And I'd really like to learn how to crochet better. But there are only so many hours in the day, right? Just do what we can do. I'm gonna do this long line here, catch that up. Number 13, if you had to stitch only 3 designers for the rest of your life, who would you choose? Plum Street Samplers, most definitely. Probably Country Cottage Needleworks, because they have, you know, cutesy, they have prim stuff. I feel like I could get a good mix from Country Cottage Needleworks, or Little House, I guess, whichever. And maybe Lizzie Kate, assuming that they were readily available. I think that would be a good mix. And probably when I get, you know, if I thought about it, because that doesn't include any samplers, and I'm really into samplers. Who's a good sampler person? I could do, oh, how about Heartstring Samplery? Oh, Heartstring Samplery I would probably take over, I don't know, over Lizzie Kate. Because then I would always be busy, because those pieces are huge, right? So Plum Street Samplers, Country Cottage Needleworks, and Heartstring Samplery bonus Lizzie Kate. That's what I'll say. It pains me to have to just pick 3, because there's so many amazing designers out there. And some are up and coming too, like Stephanie, right? She's got lots of years of designing left. Okay, Kitty, oh my word, if you guys could see this. Number 14, dumbest way you have ever been injured. That would definitely be my mandolin experience. If you're somewhat new here, like within the past year, and you haven't gone back and watched any videos, which is, I don't know if I would do that. Last year, it was right around my birthday, Mother's Day. It was in May because it was during Mania. I was making eggplant lasagna, and I purchased a mandolin, you know, one of those like boxes with the blades, and you slide the vegetables over the blade. And I pulled it all off, and I needed to slice eggplants. And mind you, it comes with the blades and a food guard and a glove to wear. I didn't need that. So I picked up the eggplant slice, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna slice it a couple times and see how it works, and sliced right into my thumb. Right into my thumb. And looked at it and went, yep, that's gonna need stitches. And it did. So my husband put me in the car. My mom was here. Like I think I was making Mother's Day dinner is what it was. And my mom stayed with the kids. Leaf loaded me up in the car, took me to urgent care, and I ended up with several stitches in my thumb, which also put a damper in my stitch mania. I didn't cook dinner that night. I think we ended up having that eggplant lasagna a couple days later. My husband finished slicing those for me, and I have not used that mandolin since. My husband has used it a couple times because he's not stupid like me and actually used the food guard and the glove. I think it was this thumb. Yep, right here. And you can, yeah. Yep, I still don't have all the feeling left in that thumb. I don't think that I will. It was really gross. And the first time in my adult life that I've done something to require stitches outside of, like, you know, having surgery or something like that I did to myself to require stitches. Oh my God, that was terrible. The mandolin is a wonderful kitchen tool. I don't know if I'll ever use it again. I'm scared of it now. Scared. 15. What is your worst roommate or housemate story? So I've never had a roommate. I lived at home with my mom until I got married to my first husband. And then when he and I separated, I lived by myself. Well, I lived with AJ because AJ was 2. But when my ex-husband and I were married, we had our first apartment together. And it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. It was really nice. It was a new building. It was great. And these were the days where he always said he was really clean. When he was single, I think he was pretty clean before we got married. But after that, it was just kind of my job to take care of that, right? So our apartment was I mean, it was just the 2 of us. We didn't have any pets or anything. So it was just the 2 of us. I kept it really clean. Well, in our master bathroom that was off our bedroom, that was usually, I had a knot. That was the bathroom that we got ready in the morning. And then our guest bathroom was really more for show. We didn't use it very often. And our bathroom had a shower, and we took showers mostly. So that's where we got ready. So we had a bath mat, and we had a bath mat. That's important. So I don't know what happens to a man where they just, like, don't hit the toilet. Like, I understand you've got a stream you're trying to control, and, you know, your pee is outside of your body, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's hard. Maybe, I don't know. I don't pee that way, so I couldn't really tell you. But he went through a period where I swear to God, he was just peeing everywhere but in the toilet bowl. And it's disgusting. Like, cleaning bathrooms is the worst chore ever. And I have 4 boys that live in my house now. I am the only girl. It's horrendous. But for a grown-ass man to not be able to pee in the toilet bowl, like, no, you're just being a lazy butthole. Stop it. So he and I got into an argument, and I was like, you need to stop pissing all over this toilet bowl. And I hate that word, but I use it when I get angry about pee. That's the only time that I'll really say that in that context. So he and I got into it big time, and I'm like, I'm not cleaning this up anymore. I'll use the other bathroom, and you can just sit in this filth. Like, I'm done. So he's like, okay, you know, I'll be more careful. I'll clean it up, whatever. Just, you know, don't yell at me anymore. Because apparently I yelled a lot. So everything is fine and dandy. I clean the bathroom, and then it stays pretty clean, right? Like, he's cleaning up after himself, or he's just trying harder. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't care because it's good. And then I get out of the shower one morning, getting ready for work, and the bathroom smells like pee. And I'm like, why does this bathroom smell like pee? This is gross. And, you know, I just kind of like, I clean everything, wipe down the toilet, everything is fine, you know, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what it is. He must have missed, but I don't see anything. So the next day I get out of the shower, and it's the same thing. It's like, why does this bathroom smell like pee? Like, I don't get it. I've wiped everything down. Come to find out, my husband was using the bath mat to wipe up the pee that he peed on the floor. So every time that bath mat got stepped on when we were getting out of the shower, it would smell like pee because there was dried pee all over the bath mat, the rug. Oh my God. It was not pretty, let me tell you. I'm over here on the computer trying to find this pattern because I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna need to do something else here. Anyway, so yeah, he had been peeing on the floor and then just taking the bath mat, the bath rug, and like sliding it over where he splashed or whatever, and stopping it up that way and not throwing the bath mat in the dirty clothes. And I didn't wash it all the time. Like, I washed it if it got dirty. So gross. Oh my gosh. I was mortified. And then I asked him, I was like, are you wiping up your pee? I didn't use the word pee though. I used the word that I don't like because I was so angry. I was like, is that what's happening here? And he did not deny it. He did not deny it. What is wrong with you where you think that's okay? Like, that is not okay. That is not okay. I'm going to go back over. I'm going to go here, I think. This is going to be hard. So yeah, that's my roommate story. It was disgusting. I am still mortified by it. 1, 2, 3. I need to count here. And that was when I knew that living with my husband was gross. God love him. I still loved him, but I was like, no, you cannot do that. I've never gotten over it. Again, like I said, I have 3 boys now, and cleaning the toilet is just a way of life, I guess. Ugh, so terrible. So terrible. So yeah, that's my roommate story. Okay, let me get back here to the questions. Number 16, you have unlimited income. What does your dream house look like? Oh goodness. I don't know. I like the look. I like old houses, older houses. Like if you're walking on the floor and it creaks, that makes me happy. As long as it's not like structural damage and I'm gonna, big beer truck just went by. As long as my, floors aren't gonna cave in, then I like it. There is down the road for me, there is a Tudor house that's for sale. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, and it's super expensive, but then I realized it's because it comes with a whole bunch of land. There's like a fruit orchard behind there, and I think grapevines and just tons of land, and I think it backs up to a river. At least that's what my husband told me. My husband hunted there before. The people that lived there before the current owners let him hunt back there one year. He didn't get anything because he didn't hunt enough, but Leaf says it's really nice. So they did a lot of remodeling when they bought it. It was kind of in shambles, so it was a fixer-upper. They've done a lot of remodeling, and the kitchen is gorgeous. I wouldn't mind having that house. And it is a Tudor style home. I like houses that are pretty much everything this house isn't, which sounds terrible, but this is the first house that I ever bought, only the second house that I ever lived in. This is a ranch, and I don't like ranch style houses. And I don't know, this is hard to do when I'm trying to look at my computer. And so being a ranch, it's a 1-story, which I don't like. I like 2-story houses. And it is on our lot size is 3/4 of an acre, so that's really nice. But I would like an older house with updated, you know, insides, like an updated kitchen, updated bathrooms. Emily, did you mention a clawfoot tub? I feel like you did. I would love to have a clawfoot tub. My husband's duplex, he has a rental property, and the side that he used to live in before we got together and I bought this house has a clawfoot tub, and I told him if he ever sells that house, we are taking that tub out of it and getting it reglazed and finding a place for it, because I love clawfoot tubs. And he had just one of those like old-timey showers that went over it. It's really nice. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I would want that. I would definitely want that. Okay, I need to figure out where to go here. Here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. So, yeah, and I would want it to be on a good part of, like, a good bit of land. I don't like houses that are super close to one another. And even though our lot is 3/4 of an acre, we have neighbors on each side of us, close neighbors, like, you know, if they're outside, we can hear them neighbors. And a subdivision in our backyard. So that's not fun. I would like to have less people around us. Maybe someday. It's good for the kids, I guess. Well, it was good for AJ because he has a friend right next door that he grew up with. So it was good for him, but we don't have any. That's not true. Next door to my next door neighbors, they have little kids. I don't know. That has its own set of problems, doesn't it? I'm not a subdivision woman. I don't think I could handle having people on top of me all of the time. All of that togetherness kind of makes my head hurt. Yep, that's what I think. End of this thread. Go back. Number 17. What song would you want played or sang at your funeral or memorial? Oh my gosh. Why did I not think about this? To be honest, I don't want a funeral or memorial service. So I guess that's my easy way out. I guess if people want to have a party or something, that's fine. I'm going to be dead, so it's not going to matter to me. Kind of like I don't want to be buried, and I want to be cremated, and I don't want anybody to keep my ashes, because I don't want any of my children to feel tied to a place or a thing when it comes to my life. I was just having this conversation with my friend next door this morning. We were talking about funerals and, you know, where families are buried, and I just have no desire to be put in one place. I don't want anybody feeling like they have to come back and visit me, but I don't want to be left somewhere either. If I'm going to be forgotten, and eventually you are, and I'm okay with that, I don't want to be stuck someplace and forgotten. Like, cremate me and scatter me someplace illegally, because that's illegal. So, you know, take me someplace that I loved, throw me in Lake Michigan, scatter me in a sandbox somewhere. I don't care. But don't bury me or put me in an urn. I'm not interested in that. But if you want to have a party, make sure you drink some wine and there's any bit of music that really speaks to me. At my father's memorial, my mom and I had one for him, which is a story for a different day because they had been divorced since I was 1 and I did not grow up with him, but he still had a memorial service that we did. We played a Leonard Skinner's Freebird. That was a good song. And I felt like even though I barely knew the man, that was good for him. Something meaningful like that would be nice. I guess maybe it just depends on how I live the rest of my life to figure that out. Gosh, I don't know. That's a hard one. Maybe MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit. That'd be fun. Only if somebody did the hammer dance. Number 18. What is your favorite board or card game? I hate board games. Hate board games. I don't like games in general, I guess. My mother-in-law loves to play games, board games or card games. I'm not a very good cards player. I might be the only person in Michigan to not know how to play euchre. They keep trying. They keep trying to teach me how to play euchre. I just don't get it. So if my mother-in-law begs and we relent, and it's usually I'm the holdout because I hate playing games, we try to play something that's not a board game, I guess. There's one called like Rummix or like Rummy Cube. It's number tiles. I like that one. I haven't played in a long time, so don't ask me anything else on that. Chicken Foot with dominoes. I enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. My husband a few years ago taught me how to play cribbage. My grandparents used to play cribbage when I was younger, when my grandpa was alive, and I actually spoke to my grandmother. And I would watch them play often, and I always wanted to play. And my grandmother and grandfather had a really large cribbage board that was like standing. It was like the size of an end table. And I always wanted that. Who knows if she still has it? Like I said, I don't speak to her anymore, so I'm pretty sure I'm not getting that when she dies. But I'd like to learn how to play cribbage. And I should probably learn how to play euchre because my mother-in-law loves it so much. But other than that, I don't like board games. My husband really likes to play that Rich Dad, Poor Dad game. I can't remember. Cash Flow. Cash Flow is what it's called. I hate that game because I understand the point of it. And when you buy it, it's like $1 million, and he bought it because he loves it so much. He had it before he and I met. And he has the kids version too that he's always trying to get AJ to play. And it's like, nobody wants to play that stupid game. Seriously, nobody wants to play that stupid game. Ugh, hate it. So anyway, obviously not a fan of board games. Not a fan. Though I'm sure my husband would just die because he has the original board game Risk. Probably not the original, but his is from when he was a child, so probably late 70s, early 80s. And I'm sure if I just busted out one day, but let's play Risk, he might just fall down and have a heart attack. The likelihood of that is pretty slim. Slim to none, I would say. Number 19, who was your first celebrity crush? Probably Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block. Jordan Knight and I have the same birthday, so that just made it that much sweeter. I would have to say. What was I in, like 5th grade or something when New Kids were popular? Before then, I can't really think of anyone at all. So I'm going to say that. New Kids. Now they're all old. Donnie Wahlberg is married to this stupid Jenny McCarthy. Oh my God. Anyway, that's a question for a different day. Oh, feel not. Nope, no, not. Okay. Number 20. Last question. If you could capture a smell in a candle or perfume, what would that smell be? I'm not sure that it would be anything that isn't already possibly in a perfume or a candle, you know? There's not really a smell I can think of that takes me back, you know, like a memory. Smells are quite triggering to memories, and I'm not sure if I have anything really like that. Like, I like the smell of fresh cut grass. I've never smelled a candle that has actually come close to that smell. Same with like campfire. I like the smell of campfire. The smell of dirt, but a lot of like patchouli can kind of mimic that for me. I love patchouli smell. I tell my husband that patchouli smells like dirty hippie, and I love it, but I think it's probably more like clean hippie. He hates the smell of patchouli. Yeah, I got nothing. I've got no significant memory or anything associated with a smell that I can think of right now. Nope. I got nothing. So that's the end of Emily C's tag. That was a good one. I like it. Thanks, Emily, for coming up with that and typing the questions. Because when I saw your video at first, the questions weren't typed, and I was like, I'm gonna have to watch your video again, which wouldn't have been bad, but you know. So that is the end of this Stitch with me, however long it was. I can't really see on my camera, I can't tell. So hope you enjoyed. I am probably going to finish going backwards on this line, and then I have got work to do. I have got laundry to fold. I have got invoices to print. I have Game of Thrones to watch. Oh my gosh, should I go ahead? Maybe I'll watch while I'm folding laundry. I'll watch the first episode of season 3 to get me excited. This show is so crazy. It's so good. Here's the thing about this show though. Here's a little side note. So I started watching it, and my teenager, you know, emerged from his room where he spends all of his days, and he's like, what are you watching? And I said, Game of Thrones. And he said, oh, Mom, do you know there's so much incest in this? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I had watched, I think I was on the 3rd episode, and this is not really a spoiler. I mean, you find it out pretty quick. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, everybody's having sex with everybody in this. And there had been some, you know, nudity and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know. You can't watch it because there's too much sex in this. Whatever. It's just me, you know, holding on to that little boy. And I was watching it, and I was trying for the life of me. I could not figure out what he was talking about. I was like, oh, it must be later, you know, in the season that somebody does that. It took me 4 episodes to realize that 2 of the main characters that were introduced in the first episode as brother and sister were doing it. No, it took me 4 episodes to realize it. Like all of the sudden, it took 4 episodes in my teenage son before it clicked. Oh my God, I was mortified. So that was something. And then what's even crazier, so sex in movies doesn't bother me, whatever. We're all adults, right? And nudity, we've seen nudity in movies for years. It just seems to be part of entertainment, and you kind of get used to it. What you don't see a lot in entertainment is nudity with men. You might see a butt once in a while. You might see, you see them bare-chested all the time, but you don't see full-on nudity. And I have seen more full frontal naked men than I think I want to see ever in my life. I guess maybe I'm just a hypocrite. I call myself out on that. That's okay. I don't find that helps me at all. It kind of grosses me out. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because I don't find that attractive. It's more jarring than anything. I don't know. Maybe if they put more naked men in movies, it would not be such a double standard, I guess, for women being nude in film and then men. I don't know. It's just jarring to me. So I've seen a lot of that I could do without. So on that note, I guess I'm going to go and see some more naked men. Crazy pants. All right, guys. If you make videos, check out Emily's tag. I will link it in the description box below. You should consider doing it, or just watching it at least. That would be fun. And I will hopefully see you guys for an update soon, because school's almost out for summer and it's all downhill after that. Stay stitchy, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.